Hi YouTube, Danester83 back again. This is the second video I'm doing today. It's the second video response I'm going to be doing. Obviously you may have just watched my last one that I did for Novabug's Friday foursome. This one is going to be a video response to Tony, Retronic Collector. Basically asked a couple of questions in a video and asked guys to do video responses. I'm not sure whether I'm the first or if anyone else has done yet. If I am, yay, I'm the first. Tony's a great guy, really nice guy. He messages me quite a lot on social media, and I just thought, being as he's been bothered to go out there and ask a question, I'd like to do a video response for him. And it was a couple of questions really. I'm going to look really professional now and get my little envelope that I'd written down exactly what Tony asked was. What got you into retro gaming? That's the first question he asked. I've always been into playing the older stuff. I mean, I remember in my late teens, I kept dropping back a generation or two, buying the games, mainly because beer was more important back then than buying a £40 game. So if I could play stuff on the older stuff and buy the games for a couple of quid, which I could pay a couple of quid for them now, then I'd do that. But this more collecting that I've done over the last 2.5, probably 3 years now, all kicked off. First of all, I started buying stuff because I went up Mum and Dad's loft one day and I come across this. Now if my brother's watching this video, yes, I know it's yours, but I bought this. This is my battery cover. And being as I'm looking after it better, it's mine now. And I bought this, and as silly as it seems, I spent hours playing it. Shame you can't turn the sound off on the thing. I've not got batteries in, so I can't treat you to the sound of the thing. But this started it all really, because I started playing this, and all my mates had jumped over to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and I just couldn't justify paying that money now that I have stuff like rent, a car insurance paid for. I couldn't justify paying out all that money for something that probably nowadays I'd only spend 3-4 hours a week playing on. I mean, I know that sounds like a lot, but I used to play like 6 hours a day when I was seriously playing video games. Like, I'd play up until I was due to go out on a Saturday night, and sometimes I'd be late going out on a Saturday night if I was in the middle of a game, if you know what I mean. It was that bad. Whereas now I don't have the time to play into it. Not saying that's because I can't, it's because I have other stuff to do. I mean, doing these videos helps me often play games a bit more, because like I'll put something like Ridge Racer on in the background and I'll have a couple of goes on it before I do the video, a couple of goes after it. So it gets me playing the games, and also they're just quicker to get into. I mean, I've mentioned it before, when I played Last of Us, it took me ages, like it seemed like forever to do like 15 minutes worth of gameplay, because I spent most of the time watching stuff. So I got back into it, mainly because of it was easier to get a game on, like on your Master System or your Mega Drive or your SNES, something that's on. You can have a 10-15 minute blast of it and, you know, not worry too much about it. Obviously, if you play stuff on your PlayStation 2, they're a bit longer games, you save stuff. But I don't know, they just seem to be much more, or much less time consuming really than a modern game. I mean, I used to play Fallout 3, and I must have had something like, God, I don't want to exaggerate, but I don't want to undercut it either. I probably had 40-50 hours worth of play on my original PlayStation 3, and it blooming went and kaputted. And I thought I'd be clever and salvage the hard drive and put it into my new PS3, and it reformatted it, so that was a waste of time anyway, although I've got a bigger hard drive in it now. And I just, you know, now I'm in a relationship, I ain't got the time to put that amount of effort in, not just because of the relationship, because of other things, because of work, because of general life really. I ain't got the amount of time I used to have. And the other reason I got into it is escapism really. Not escapism again from my family, but over the last couple of years, I mean, my health's never been brilliant anyway, but that's hereditary. I always knew about that. And then my health took another dive after I get up playing football, and stuff's just got on top of me, and I feel like I use the games to forget that I'm 32-year-old Dana, if you know what I mean. I go back to being 12-year-old Dana who had very little problems in life, very little stress of bills or anything like that. I just used to play video games, and you know, if that can take my mind off general seriousness of life for half an hour, it makes my day a bit easier. You know, I'm not someone who's completely ill, who's on bordering on, like, you know, severe health issues. I'm just have issues with health, put it that way, you know. And I didn't think it'd bother me that much talking about it, to be fair, but it is a bit. So yeah, it allowed me to have a bit of escapism from that. And also, it done me good, because after I'd stopped playing football, I'd stopped doing exercise, because I ran a football team rather than played for one, and that was stressful. But that's another story. So it helped, because I'm a tight git, and I started going to boot sales, and now I'll spend 3-4 hours walking around a boot sale on a Sunday morning or a Saturday morning, and I used to do that before the football matches started when I was running the team. So it got me out exercising, which obviously now I'm going back playing football, I'll be doing a lot more of. But yeah, it just helped with stuff like that. So yeah, that's why I got back into gaming, really, just to help forget about everyday strife, really. You know, when you're fighting aliens from another planet in a video game, you know, worrying about work the next day ain't the hardest thing in life, is it? You know what I mean? And I think that's why I do it, especially with the older stuff. I mean, there's some stuff I just play because they're purely games. But I don't know, say if I bang something on, like, I don't know, I'll use something for a major example, Roland on the Ropes, so I played as a kid. It helps you just concentrating on that game like I used to as a kid, and I'm not taking the outside world a whole lot too seriously. Right, so that's a much more depressing answer than I thought I was going to come up with. The second question is, what do you like about the games and consoles you have? I got them all cheap, and hopefully when I'm old I can sell them and make some money. No, but seriously, what do I like about them? I'm playing consoles for the first time I never played, and they're 20 plus years old. Like your NES, I never had a NES. I enjoy playing the NES. Some good games on it. You know, I played the NES a couple of times at a mate's house as a kid, whereas now I can play it whenever I want to. Yeah. I discovered systems for the first time ever, like me PC Engine and me Turbo Graphics. Never even heard of it until I started watching videos on YouTube. I mean, I probably watched YouTube when I started collecting to help give me ideas of what games I wanted to be getting. I mean, it took me 2 years to be not bothered, to build up the confidence to do videos like I do now. So I watched a lot of YouTube, and it helped me pick which consoles I wanted. Like the GameCube, I'd never had a GameCube. What an underrated console the GameCube is. And that's what I like about them. It's like, although they're 20 years old, 15 years old, 10 years old, I'm discovering them for the first time. And I'm probably appreciating them a lot more, because I don't know how you guys feel, but when they come up, other than the PlayStation when that first came out, it just blew my mind. And I've spoke about that before. But I really underappreciated systems like the PS2. I had a PS2 release, and then I remember they let you change your fat one for a slim one at game. Was it for free, or did you have to pay? Anyway, I swapped it anyway because it was easier, because I used to play a lot of online gaming. I used to play SOCOM and Toka, but I used to just play SOCOM and Toka, and I completely ignored a whole game range that, like, I'm discovering again now, because a lot of the time my gaming was social. It was between me and my brother and friends who I made online. Whereas now I'm going back and I'm discovering that that system was more than just what it was. I mean, there was Devil May Cry that I played that wasn't online, but other than that, 90% of the games I played on the PlayStation 2 were purely for online, and the PlayStation 3. I became one of them classic gamers who just used to buy COD every time they chipped it out, buy FIFA every time they chipped it out. So if I'd say what am I enjoying about the games and the consoles, I'd say discovering them again, giving them all a second go. As I say, I think everyone was like it though when you're at a certain, I mean, I'm assuming everyone's my age, some of you are older, most of you are older, some of you are younger as well, I know that. But as a kid you just fixate on certain games and you play the hell out of them, whereas now my mind is more broad, and like there's games that I'd have probably turned my nose up at 10, 15 years ago, whereas now I'll give anything a go and I'll have a go on it. So I think that's my answers. I didn't really have anything planned and set out to say as my answers. I like to do my videos off the cuff, one take, and that's it. So Tony, I hope those answers are some good to you, and they're some good to anyone who watches it, really. I hope it's not depressed you too much. I hope it's cheered you up a bit. Something could do with cheering the weather up outside. I'm meant to be taking a little football training after it looks like it's raining. But anyway, that's nothing to do with this. As always, if you like my content, like, comment and subscribe. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Ta-ra for now.